filler. You know what I mean? And it creates like that sense of satiating the actual hunger, but it doesn't really add much nutritional value.
Vitamin
adult,
A,
especially.
D,
Calcium. Just talking about it, I feel like farting already. Like I'm fucking drinking it now.
I love milk, man. The only thing that used to scare me though was like they said, if you get too much calcium, you could develop like kidney stones. And I remember having one of those one time. That was the worst pain in the fucking world.
Oh damn! Knock on wood, I haven't had any of those.
Yeah, me either.
Kidneys are already polluted.
Unfortunately. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 29 of Breaking the Mold. This is the newest podcast
coming live, bro.
Yeah,
live. Yeah.
Yo, dude,
I got the whole confession.
I'm talking about farting and milk and. Then you're like, "Oh, this is the newest podcast." Like, what kind of shit is that?
It's real, Dave. It's real. We're real.
Are you on your mobile that you can't see the little live?
Nah, I wasn't paying attention. Go ahead. Fucking asshole.
Welcome to episode 29 of Breaking the Mold. Dave's gas issues. We're the newest podcast coming at you here each and every single week on the Realm Collectors YouTube channel. If audio is your preferred platform, we got you covered. We are on iTunes and Google Play. Please remember to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, all that good shit, as I hear it really helps the show out. If you're watching on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And there's also a live chat going on below. Go ahead, chop it up with the rest of the ROC fam. We're going to be shouting people out during the course of this podcast. All right, I'm Hurricane BX. Let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. First up, and John Addict. How you doing, Pop?
I'm all right. Now that I know we're live, now I'm just... What's good, man? Happy Tuesday.
Same to you, man.
I did not have a great weekend. You guys know this. I was very sick, very ill over the past week and a half, but I'm feeling a lot better yesterday and today. So looking forward to tonight, talking some toys and bots and shit. So,
Rubits.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Next up, the analyzer, Brian Brink. How are you?
I'm good, man. I was not sick this weekend. It was a pretty good weekend. Sorry, Dave, to hear about your troubles. It's still cool here. And I went to a 1-year-old's birthday party.
Oh, that must have been fun.
I showed up 2.5 hours late on purpose. And when I got there, I was like, God damn it, there's still a lot of people here, but now they all started leaving eventually, which was cool, so I could just hang out with the people my age and shoot the shit and stuff like that. But
Brian, we didn't know that you had a child.
Neither do I. I never find out. So anyway, steer clear of those if you have to go to those. Yeah, it's good.
Sweet.
Fucking awesome.
Thanks for sharing, man. Yeah. That's right. All right, Big Dom, how are you tonight, man?
What's going on, guys? I'm still trying to get over those little cold that I got last week, so...
It gets a cold in the summer. It gets a cold in the summer, Dom.
Summer colds are the worst.
Summer colds. I don't know. It's changing weather, I guess. But yeah, no, my weekend was good. I don't know what the hell I did. What did I do?
I did nothing.
Yeah,
that's good when you do nothing sometimes.
I did something. Now because we were planning on going to the beach on Sunday, but it rained. I guess the storm carried through the morning hours, so it just didn't clear up until like 1-2 o'clock in the afternoon. So
what would you do at said beach? Just walk around and feed seagulls?
No. I'll go in the ocean. I like going in the ocean.
Oh, yeah?
Getting caught in the riptide, going out, just enjoying the sharks in the Jersey Shore because there's plenty of them.
Yeah, there is.
So
is that
it's good when you're...
or no?
Yeah. I like. I'm the type of guy that likes to just take a nice chair. A nice chair.
No,
Sit
really,
down.
you?
Sit down. Maybe
sitting down.
maybe an umbrella. Get under the shade. Nice dot, with the nice Diet Pepsi in my hand. Typical.
Nice.
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, get those dark sunglasses on and keep your head on a swivel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Of course, you don't want your little, your lady knowing that you're looking.
The trick is, I was always told, like, if you're walking with your lady and you're walking down the street and you see something coming, turn your head before the chick passes. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't look like.
No. You want to know my trick?
What's your
I'm always like, hey, babe, look. Doesn't she have a big butt? That way you both look and she agrees with you, and then you're like, all right, cool. There you go. That's how you got to peep.
Babe, don't you have the same jeans? No.
I'm gonna have to try that. I'll probably get smacked. I'll be the one to get smacked for it.
Jay fooled.
Blame it on Dave.
All right, and G Money, how are you tonight, man?
Dude, everything is going well. Unfortunately, Dave, I also had a nice weekend, so sorry to hear everything that you dealt with.
It's all good, man. It's all good, guys.
Yeah, no, same thing. We worked on Saturday, saw Ant-Man and the Wasp on Friday. Finally,
Nice. What'd you think of that?
saw a preview for. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. There's a lot of shrinking and growing, but
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the.
You sure you were watching the movie?
Bro.
No, I was actually more excited to see the preview for Meg, the shark movie with Jason Statham. I'd read all the books over the last probably 12 or 15 years. So
is that a series, like Gary? The book.
The Meg is a series.
Okay.
And they're making the first movie this summer, so I don't have super high hopes. It looks kind of like a shark movie again, but looked entertaining at least. It's got Rainn Wilson from The Office is in it, so it's got a pretty interesting cast of actors, I think, and actresses. But we went back to the beach on Sunday, as we've done for like the last 4 or 5 weeks, enjoying the weather. And same thing, you're out in the water, and it's imagination gets the best of you.
I thought you were gonna say the same thing. Out in the water, and a lot of shrinkage starts happening there too. Shrinking and growing.
It's cold water. You can't fight physiology. But no, it was a good weekend.
Don't you hate at the beach, like when? I don't know what the deal is, but you go in the water, you come out, and your fucking drawers are full of sand. What's that shit all about? I don't understand how that happens. I don't know. Doesn't happen to you guys?
Have that problem. I don't know.
Strange.
I'm not a big fan of local beaches, but like if I'm on vacation in another state, they're usually a lot nicer than the ones we have here, and so no issue.
Why, you don't go to Chocha Beach?
Just for the view. Only for the view. Yeah.
It's really cool.
I don't want to know.
Orchard Beach.
Yeah.
What is the nickname?
Orchard Beach. Yeah, yeah. For as long as I can remember, that's the nickname.
I think here's what I've realized. Like, you're right, Jose. Like, it has to be like a nice beach, and we're pretty fortunate. That's the only thing that I was just telling the guys, if anybody listening, still before we started, that kind of living here in the lower part of Delaware, there's not a lot else really to do, but there are some pretty phenomenal beaches that are soft, clean sand. They're well kept. For the most part, there's a lot of tourists that come in this time of year, but it's a lot of fun. But you really got to be prepared, and that's where my wife comes in, because we've got chairs and an umbrella, and she does the cooler, and it's pretty systematic, where we get ready and go probably in like 20 minutes, and then it's good to kind of just chill out and relax. And I got to make sure I got something to read.
Gary, does your beach allow food on the beach?
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of those beaches where you bring it, you take it. So there's no garbage cans anywhere, and the expectations are that you leave with it.
A lot of Jersey beaches don't allow food; they only allow water, and that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, no, they're pretty lax with it. But
it's for it's two things: to keep the beach clean, and also if you want to eat or get food, you go up to the vendors that are up on the boardwalk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Gary, I mean,
they force that shit on you. Like, it should be a choice.
Gary, you said it's boring down there. It's a shame you didn't get down there a few years earlier. There used to be an event down there called Punkin' Chunkin'. Have you heard of that?
I feel like I've seen it on like the Discovery Channel, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it like, or Learning
got
Channel.
media for a bit. Yeah, people create these machines to hurl pumpkins as far as they can go. I went one year. That was pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Not seen that. So yeah, there are a lot of farms
they throw
around here.
pumpkins into the water.
No, they're just
I
in a
don't think- I
field.
think they-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And they got catapult machines and pneumatic machines and all kinds of different shit. But then someone died and no one wanted to have it happen on their property anymore.
Somebody got hit with a fucking pumpkin and died.
Yeah. Oh no, not with. I think one of the machines like broke and hurt somebody. Yeah. I know. It's all funny.
What's
games.
nice though is I'll just say this, Jose, and kind of see how your weekend went. I know you're wrapping up vacation, but that one thing about going to the beach, it's one of the few times that I am able to. I put the phone down and like I don't touch it for probably 4 or 5 hours when I'm there.
What do you do?
And,
touch your abs?
I read a book. I read an old-fashioned paperback book. But you know, it just seems like it's harder and harder to do that these days. You know, find a place where you can truly just kind of like leave it alone and not feel compelled to check it, especially with all the news and stuff. Kind of, you know, that was kind of coming out.
So, Gary, is it like one of those dime store like romance novels? Just pick up on the in the impulse rack? No.
Yeah.
And you said you saw Ant-Man and then you saw the trailer for Megs. Is that what it's called, Megs?
It's called just Meg, MEG, just singular.
Oh, MEG. Meg. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see the
yeah. Oh yeah, it's short for the megalodon. You know, kind of prehistoric shark. That's just a epic size and stature.
I thought it was from Megatron. I'm sorry. That was a Transformers movie.
You think, right? That's what I thought. No. So.
Yeah, I heard that there was like a movie like coming out, but I didn't see the trailer before. At my screening of Ant-Man and the Wasp and stuff. And then you said it's based on a book series. So what's the book? Like, is it always about like the same shark? Because you said it's a series. Like how? Like what do they do in the book?
It's there's a few different stories. It's kind of got the idea of research companies and kind of, and it's based somewhat, I'll say somewhat on reality, the ocean depths, and it wasn't really until like the early 90s that, people discovered that there were these like kind of fissures with the, in the Earth's crust down low that are very nutrient rich. And the organisms there are sparse, but they grow incredibly large. So you'll find those, if you ever watch like the G.I. Joe cartoon, I think it was one with the Weather Dominator or the pieces, where the pieces got separated across the world. There was one where they're like diving down and they're trying. They had those big tube worms that came out and kind of attacked them. I don't know, it's a stretch, but it's true. Those things exist, and the clams and the organisms are huge, and that's kind of the idea of this is that there's depths of the ocean and there's a food source there. So some of these creatures are still around. You never see them because they're so deep.
Okay.
So
yeah, I saw that in a documentary, Pacific Rim. They had these creatures coming out of
exactly.
Such great footage they had in that documentary, right?
Right. Well, so tell us, how'd your vacation wrap up, man?
Pretty quietly. I spent the weekend here at home, actually, just having a good time messing with some figures and taking pictures and stuff, which was good because I hadn't really been focusing on that for a little while. So it was kind of nice to get back into it. Jessie kept busy herself with some girlfriends, which, kind of gave me the time to just lounge and, do what I wanted. So knowing, had to go back to work today, I just, took full advantage of just, straight up lounging. But it was nice. The staycation overall was nice, being able to do some things around the city. We actually had initially planned to do like a kind of like a boat ride around the city, that takes you around and kind of see the lower Manhattan and,
a dinner cruise.
Ellis Island and stuff like that. You could take, opportunity to take a lot of photos, but we decided, just kind of chill out and lounge and she had to go back to work yesterday. I went back today. So she like really just kind of wanted to keep it local and low key, which I'll never argue against. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking homebody at heart.
That wasn't your girl on the Statue of Liberty this past week.
No.
Okay, I just sort I thought you may have just left her there and said, you're walking home today.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. We did something like that similar for a coworker that had retired. It was one of those lower Manhattan boat cruises. So it's always nice, just something to do for an hour. And then, we plan to kind of just hang around Lower Manhattan, maybe do some bar hopping and some sightseeing, which is always nice to do. I remember having a conversation, I think, with Dave like weeks ago, like living here in the city and we don't take full advantage of like everything the city has to offer just because we take it for granted living here.
You're right. I was going to say sometimes that's a great, adventure almost when you play tourist in the own place where you live. When I lived in Chicago for a very long time, and there was a while where I wasn't taking advantage of a lot of what that city had to offer unless someone came to visit. If I had family, then I was playing tour guide and setting stuff up downtown and trying new restaurants. And, like you mentioned the tour, I did a boat tour once, kind of the architectural history of the city. And I'm like, God, I've lived here for 10 years. I've never done this. This is fascinating. So it's cool that you did that and tried to make the most of where you're at, so.
Yeah. And now that we're back to work, we're still going to try to take advantage like on the weekends. Like sometimes like we're so exhausted from just the work week run around that, we tend to stay home on the weekends and we're like, no, let's not do that. Let's just try to get out there and have fun. At least even if it's just every Saturday and we just take the one day Sunday to kind of lounge out, So yeah, that's what we got planned for the future. Yeah. So, lounging around was nice because, this weekend was TFCon Toronto 2018. So just tons and tons of stuff coming out all over social media throughout the weekend. Starting from Friday, you kind of saw the little, trickle of information starting to come out and the photos, and then just, full on blast Saturday and Sunday. So I compiled a little list of like the things that I kind of was impressed with. Some stuff we did see before, but there was a lot of new things that were on display, a lot of new prototypes and whatnot. So what did you guys think overall of the convention, over the weekend as you were seeing it on social media? Don't anybody jump first.
Right. So last year was my first TFCon. So for anybody who's listening, who's going, maybe to the one this October in Chicago, it was an amazing weekend. So much fun. All the toys and stuff aside, just hanging out and meeting people, firsthand that you kind of message and talk to in chats and stuff like that. And you kind of meet the real person behind their online name persona. So I think honestly it was exciting to see stuff, but it was really getting me pumped up for a couple months from now, for the actual, going to the event in October again. And I think it was just, years prior to being involved, I had, been somewhat in tune to the news and I would pay attention, but not to the levels that I saw it now. So yeah, it was pretty exciting to see. And it just kind of got me excited about the toys again and potentially, just getting something new and check out.
Well, what excited you, Gary, this time around?
My favorite part, and it's a line I don't really collect because I think it is reformatted, was the Skylinks from MMC.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think it's because anyone who knows me, like, I don't have I'm not collecting seasons. I'm not collecting teams. I don't collect, necessarily groups that have to go together. So I don't have to worry about where that would display. So even if it is like reformatted and it's not quite masterpiece or it's stylized whenever it's finished, I don't know why I always liked that character. I think because he was kind of sarcastic in the cartoon as a kid.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you like his design or do you like his character? Because he's a bit of a pompous asshole.
I know, right? I'm not sure. Maybe it was both. It was
maybe that's why you like me so much.
That's
exactly right.
I think there's a pompous asshole trying to break out.
That was probably the one. That was probably the
trying to break out. I don't know.
But that was probably pretty exciting to see because I know there's been a lot of talk on other shows about someone making the Skylinks and doing something different, and it was pretty cool. So whenever that happens, I hope it's one piece just because of patience, and it doesn't get split somehow. I'd rather wait and just get it all at once. But
no, I'll co-sign that Skylinks with you. And that was kind of I think one of the very first photos that I remember seeing throughout the whole weekend. And I just think pompous asshole or not, he was one of those characters in the old cartoon that actually had personality. Because out of the hundreds of robots we've seen, not all those characters had spotlight episodes. Skylinks.
Well, and
he was like a leader too. He took that leadership role.
Yeah, and he was.
As far as I remember,
didn't have a humanoid mode, right? Because he split and then the combined, so it's just kind of different. But that was one I didn't know anyone as a kid who had that toy. I never had that toy, And I remember, whenever the Encore, right, Takara was doing those and they reissued it, and I got a chance to check it out somewhere. I'm like, this thing kind of sucks as a toy. Like, it's hollow. I know it's like, I think it walked, right, or did something.
It
That's
did.
batteries. But I just
Let me
remember
highlight-
realizing,
highlight
the
Brian
toy
real
was like
quick.
disappointing. Yeah.
So he has it up
So-
on his screen. For anybody that's watching on YouTube, Brian Brink is doing some screen share so you could actually see some photos of it. Sorry, audio listeners, but if you want to see, you can you just check it out on the YouTubes. Yeah, it looks good, man. I mean, even for reformatted Chug, it's not Masterpiece, which I know is the thing that everybody is kind of into nowadays, or not. But I mean, I think it's just great just to get that character, to get a piece like that, and for it to look good. I mean, that looks good to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm in.
Yeah. Was there anything else? I mean, there was so much like reveals.
There was a lot of stuff.
Like I put up a little list, and I know there was some that I'm like, okay, I'm definitely in for, but just seeing everything that was there, it was just pretty amazing, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what are they saving for TFCon in Chicago? Like, hopefully, are we going to see a lot of the same stuff? Like, does anybody have an opinion of that? Do you think they blow their load here and then not leave much for the stateside show?
Well, I was surprised to see this much come out of TFCon Toronto, because usually it's the other way around, right? Because usually we get like a trickle of just a few things, and then TFCon Chicago usually is like the onslaught of anything that we're looking forward to. I just don't see it being too big the next time around in Chicago. I think that they, like we just said, they just basically put most of it out now.
I feel this is their flag show. Like, this is their flag show. This is where they started. So most of their information comes out now, and they put it out here. And we might get one or two little things, or maybe updates on stuff that they showed this weekend. But I don't think we're gonna get anything as extravagant and as much as we got this weekend. So they came from Toronto. That's their show. So I think they went balls to the walls, because at the end of the day, I think last year even Toronto's was like a horrible showing in regards to previews or what was coming out. So
it was.
I think this was like a year for them to step it up, because everybody kind of had a negative feedback on that panel, and that's what they were known for in regards to this show. Like, the third party panel was what, everyone came to go there, one of the highlights of the show. So
yeah.
In regards to that, I'm sorry, like, do you think it's because it's such a weird thing, because TFCon is the convention, but can the fault be placed on the convention organizers themselves or the third party companies that might not just have anything to show? Yeah,
I don't think the fault's on the convention people. I think they get emails from these third parties to say, hey, here, show this at the show, or show this at the show, and if the third party companies don't have anything to show, they can't send anything to them.
Yeah, and maybe, I was just gonna say, maybe the third parties heard, our outcry laugh from last year, and like, all right, let's give them something,
Well, isn't Keith always there in the audience, right?
Supposedly.
Dustin points him out every year. He's always like, that's Keith.
Were there any other standouts for you, Gary, throughout the show?
Well, so there's one thing that was missing that I was honestly, I'm going to admit it, and I put it up already. So I really wanted to see the Ace Collectibles, their version of Sea Spray, just for nothing else. I love the little I Love Boats, Facebook commercial they did last summer, but I don't think that they exist anymore. So that wasn't posted there. So I don't know.
This guy, Gary.
Yes, the Trident, with that comes with that little pink alien.
That's
lady
actually
figure.
That's terrible looking.
That's his girlfriend, yo.
Yeah, and the
it looks
the way that one transformed, like the feet could be skinny or they could be big. I don't know. I was kind of looking forward to that, but didn't see it. I would say this though. I feel like in previous years, you'd see all this stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I really want to see this all like right now. Where I think my mindset has changed, where it's like still very exciting, but part of me is like hoping that there's a nice, steady release of stuff, that actually comes out for the end of this calendar year, kind of into 2019, and I mean, like I just hope that there's a nice kind of steady flow and not this onslaught of stuff and then nothing for so long. So
Yeah.
Well, look, Gary. I mean, I'll tell you, this thing looks done to me, and
Doesn't
it looks like there's this guy. He has one. Maybe you should hit him up. Like,
yeah, to send it back. That actually doesn't look too bad though, because the X-Transbots one, even though I guess it's accurate to the cartoon model, but it just looks dumpy to me. Like that, the sea spray from what is that? Ace? You said Ace Trident.
Yeah,
it looks heroic.
I think that's one that did the little cliff jumper that no one liked, right? I think it's the same company.
Yeah,
that came out last year, but I'll admit, listen, I am a sucker at times and appreciate that the company did something different with their marketing when they were trying to do it, and it just wasn't the same old stuff. But
okay, so this is gonna be the next Voltron for Gary, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to acquire.
There's a prototype somewhere. Let's figure it out.
All right, nice.
I'm sorry, Gary. Maybe you'll get it in Chicago.
Yeah, right. You never know. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe.
Yep. And in Chicago, we might not get more news, but I think we'll definitely have different exclusives. So that should be interesting to see.
Okay. Yeah. And hopefully, at least if we don't see too much new stuff, the time October rolls around, hopefully if it's just very little new that they have, for the stateside convention, hopefully it's something that'll just knock our socks off and not be disappointing, and be like, I kind of like felt that, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, like of this last TFCon, and I think it's like you guys had just said, because we didn't get like a lot of the reveals, so I don't know. Let me see. What about you, Dom? What do you like about the weekend? Anything stood out to you?
I just, those legends are getting me. I've been collecting legends from Iron Factory and from DX9, and just the new what is it, the Magic whatever
Magic Square.
Where Magic Square, those are killing it. I picked up that little Bumblebee.
This New Age guy?
Yeah, the New Age Bumblebee.
So you like him? He's good?
Oh, he's good.
Those look great. I heard it's a fun little like toy.
Fun little toy, little flip in and out. Like, it gives you that aspect of like, your childhood and then how quick was easy and just flipping them in from vehicle mode to robot mode. You don't have to worry too much. You don't have to worry about breaking them or anything like that. It's just a really fun toy. But just these new ones, I just got the Inferno and the Grapple, and they're really good. They're really freaking good. It's small, but at the end of the day, what are you gonna do?
I was pretty impressed with the transformation on them.
Yeah.
So Bobby mentions this on SCU a lot, and I think about it's in the back of my head. But when I see these awesome legends representing basically what Masterpiece represents, right? Like a pretty awesome rendition of G1. Sometimes I think I have dreams where it's like, you know what? I'm gonna clear out some room on these shelves for other things, and my Transformers are gonna be really small.
Like, I can't wait for that Hypernova. Like, that Hypernova looks sweet from Iron Factory. The DJD, all of them. Just like what they look, the way they're looking and everything that they're doing, and they combine. Like, I already have them on pre-order, but like I'm looking to probably buy another set just to have them combined.
What's the set go for, Dom? Just curious.
They sell them individually. They don't sell them as a set.
Right. So what are they individually at?
I think they're all different. Like, I think the bigger guys are priced a little bit higher. I can't remember.
I think the Tarn was about around 38.
38, yeah.
And some of the other ones, similarly priced, but there are different prices. I'll try to look it up. And
I don't collect this scale, but I'm interested in that set too.
Yeah. And are they still planning on making that set combined? I know that was like a thing, right? It was supposed to.
Yeah, it turns into a bigger version of Tarn, right?
Tarn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, G Money, we got something for you.
Nice.
With the quickness. I agree, man. The legends, I've collected them here and there. I haven't really fully gone in on them, but I mean, they are turning out.
Look at that
really,
Tarn.
really nice.
Like, look at that Tarn, dude. Just
look at it. Just
look at it.
Just look at it.
Jesus.
The legends
if
feel
you
like
if it was legends, that would look like a regular, Chug figure.
Dude, watch out, Flames toys. Fucking got
I
some
don't,
competition.
That's it.
I don't collect that scale either.
The fuck
say,
is
but
spend
it seems as
$500
if-
on that.
It seems as if they have evolved a little bit quicker in that scale than, you know, as far as just designing and fit and finish, you know, and tolerances and stuff to a higher degree, a little bit faster than, you know, some of the other scale stuff.
What do you think they hired even younger children to do the manufacturing of these and with smaller
No,
hands?
Dave,
You know,
no,
they
Dave.
littler hands. They got littler fucking.
Just your family.
It's
They hired
terrible.
your family.
They can see them closer.
They hired the Oompa Loompas of the worlds.
Yeah, I will agree that the Legends scale seem to have really stepped it up with the engineering and then just the overall look. Like they're looking better and better as far as representing the cartoon counterparts and in both modes at that. And how's the scale working out though? Because I know DX9 and who was the other one? Iron Factory. They had different kind of a different scale going.
The companies are not matching up in regards to scales, but like, you know, pretty much within their own realm, as you can say. They definitely stack up good.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. I felt like Iron Factory over, like, at least as far as the pieces I picked up, I always felt like they were making them the best as far as like the fit and finish, like overall. But DX9, a lot of the ones that they're putting out, and now what is it, Magic Square? You said
Magic
that
Square.
stuff's it's looking really good. I might have to maybe dive into that line a little bit more.
Yeah,
like,
that's the combined mode.
That's the combined mode. That's the combined mode. That last picture.
No.
Right here.
Oh yeah. See, that looks pretty good.
Nice.
And that'll probably be the size of like a regular like figure, right? Like an 8 or 9 inch figure or something like that.
I would say probably Voyager, maybe Leader. I don't know. Like, you know, I don't know how tall it gets.
Yeah, I think I have to be in for that. It looks good.
It's going to probably cost you, like I say, David. I think it's probably the 5 figures alone. I'm just guesstimating right now because I'm not looking at what the prices are.
$150.
Yeah, like
under 200.
Yeah, like under 200.
I think it's worth it. Just the way the individual figures look themselves and in their alt modes. I mean, you don't have to combine them if that's not your thing, but just the fact that that's an extra feature and, you know, how they all look. I mean, they look great.
I mean, to be able to carry a combiner in your pocket. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna cherry pick that line. I think I don't think I'm gonna go all in, but certain little favorite bots like that Bumblebee, I've been tempted. Like I've heard it's a lot of fun, and just little things that like you said, you could kind of just flip back and forth, have fun with without worry of breakage. Stuff you could maybe bring to work for some stress relief when you want to bang your head on the desk. Was there anything else besides the Legend stuff? Anything caught your eye?
That TFC, the Optimus, but I like the green the green version. I'm definitely in on that. I haven't bought, the only TFC thing I ever bought was Hercules, and this figure is got my name all over it.
I love this thing too.
Yeah, it's looking really good. You're going for the camo version, right? It's like a green camo version,
yeah,
right?
like the
like
G.I.
a Joe
camo
look.
version. Yeah.
You guys don't have any issues with the parts kind of forming? It looks a little bit like, I know it's based on that G.I. Joe Rolling Thunder kind of in the comic stuff, but I didn't realize like half of the vehicle mode is just kind of looks like a weapons or like a gun placement, right?
You know what? I don't.
You're kind of like I don't didn't.
Yeah. I'm not. To me, I'm not. Like parts forming doesn't bother me. Like it just depends on how it's done. Like if it's bits that just kind of like are like armor bits that you kind of like attach on, like that's fine. But, if you have to take some bits off,
robot, right? I think doesn't it make like a I don't know, like a base or I don't know.
Well, yeah. So you got a few different things, Gary. You got like a battle platform here.
That's the picture I saw. Yeah.
And then also, you have him combined, as a Rolling Thunder, basically.
Right.
Looks like the Diaclone guys scale well, which is kind of neat.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
And then you do have like these little base modes as well.
See, so now, That I don't mind because as you can see right there, you still have the base figure. It's still its base
Yeah,
little
it's
vehicle.
his trailer that breaks off in parts, Gary. It's his trailer.
Yeah, no, I get it. I guess I was just I thought he like how the Power Masters right kind of wear the trailer right as the armor.
And that's what he's doing right here.
Fan topic.
Yeah.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yep,
Okay.
he's wearing
So
all
I
the
missed,
armor, which
I
is
missed
the
that
trailer.
one.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay, I hadn't seen that.
So
one.
it's kind of like a Jinrai, like a Power Master Prime kind of thing going on with the guns on the legs and the cannon here, stuff like that. It's pretty.
Yeah,
neat.
that one that actually looks pretty good like that. Then.
Yeah, I think just the fact because it's another Optimus Prime, I might go in on that. I'm liking the way that looks.
Yeah, so I might
What's
roll
the
the
price
dice
on
here.
that? Isn't that
180.
Like 180.
Yeah.
180.
That's up there. Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at that sexy beast.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks like it's a nice, decent size.
But it's great that the people got to see this in person, right? So
yeah,
I mean, the companies really did a good job this year putting all this stuff out on display for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, what about you, Dave? What do you see that caught your eye?
Probably go back to the MMC, the Skylinks. I agree with both of you. I thought that was probably the most outstanding thing I saw. The Die Atlas looks pretty good from MMC as well, and I'm looking forward to finishing the DJD with them as well. The last two figures, and if they're gonna do the pet as well.
Yeah, I know they had some pictures of the pet, and I think Guzzler, I think, is one of the characters.
Oh yeah, now they have Guzzle. I can't wait for this to come out.
Yeah, and what's her name? Nickel, I think, was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's find that MMC pics. They're
what is it called? That tour or whatever. That thing's gonna be huge. Looks huge.
I bounce around a lot with lines, to fill in gaps and shit. But I would say this is the only line, the reformatted line, that I've actually stuck with from the beginning, and I haven't really faltered on anything they dropped. So I'm really looking forward to these releases. I also, that Warpath looks great. I mean, you say what you want. They didn't really need to do it because we had something, but the Batcube Warpath though was cool, was stylized. It's too big. I mean, if you're that person that it needs to fit with your G1, then that's not going to be the one for you. The Batcube, the fans toys will probably fit in better.
Does the size scare you? Does the size scare you, Dave?
Like
just
what?
Can't handle the size.
So Dave, figure? This one isn't working for you. The Batcube War Dog.
I love that figure. I have it. A lot of people had problems with the transformation of it. It was, it did explode, but once you got the hang of it and you put it together, it was a solid toy. But now that you look at it, he looks like a chunky monkey. Doesn't look right.
I mean, at the time, it was the only option, and then it's definitely like a little bit more stylized, and it looks good. Chunky like that, being a tank. But when you see the fans toys version, that speaks to me more as far as what I remember him looking like in the cartoon.
Some weight.
It was gone before he went on vacation.
It's like like a 2015 design, right? Ish, 3 years probably.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Right around there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
listen, we all know like a year in this hobby is like like dog years. It's like yeah, I don't know. It's like,
it definitely looks good. It definitely looks good.
I mean,
I like the proportions on it and everything.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna be that complicated. Like it looks good. It looks really good. That's how I kind of remember that character. I didn't remember him looking real chunky like that Batcube version. Even though that I don't mind that as far as like a modern interpretation. But if you're looking for those toonsickles, fans toys got it.
Wow, it really is a difference. I tell you, the alt modes look, I think, pretty much the same, but which they should, I guess.
It kind of makes me second guess a lot of things, man. To be quite honest with you, like, I'm gonna quote Pinkerton. The Pinkerton approach. He said it a year and a half ago. Takara fans toys. And back of my head, I'm like, yeah, okay. But he's he's kind of right, because they're tackling things I didn't think they were going to tackle. You know, we always thought they were going to give us things that we didn't have and only do that. But they're doing things that other people have done already too, and just saying, you know what, we're going to fucking improve it. If you're fucking with us, you're fucking with us. And that's what they're doing. They're doing this. Looks like they're doing Braun, and they're doing what's the other character's name they're doing? You have that Beachcomber, and I like the what is it, X-Transvax Beachcomber? I like it.
Yeah.
But it has problems. It has a lot of issues. This one looks pretty clean just from a fucking render. You know, shitty picture, but it looks a lot cleaner already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ain't got nothing sticking out from the sides on the bottom of his feet. You know, I'm not sure if he has all that the backpack problems that it's gonna have. And I love the back cube Braun too, but man, I don't know. I'm curious to see how big these things are gonna be.
Yeah, these are like shadows, so it's hard to tell how big these are gonna be.
Because
I think we had one. Somebody had a picture of this guy with Ironhide. I think it. Oh no, never mind. That was something else.
So it's nice to see the silhouette. You know, just to know, hey, this is in the pipeline. But again, with the fan toys, like, do you think this is coming anytime soon? Because of all the other reveals? Yeah, all the reveal. It's nice to see something from them, like at a show like this. But there's been so many, you know, reveals already from them that we're still waiting for. So
yeah.
Now, is it the fact that, you know, we're just antsy that we just want something now, but they're thinking, you know, let's take the time, let's do it right.
Yeah.
Let's you know, I know, the customers are chomping at the bit, but at the end of the day, we need to make sure we put out a good product and not just rush it out just to get something out for them. Because if we do that and it's not good or not meeting their expectations, we're just hurting ourselves, you know.
But it's also like they gotta go with the market, like what's going on with everybody else that's creating the same figure.
Yep.
So you know, let's say they're 70% weighs in on a certain character, and X-Transbots is dropping it next week. They might cut a corner or two to fucking get it out just to make sure that they get paid. You know, because some people will not buy an upgraded version or even consider fan toys an upgraded version. They'll just stick with what they have. And I think that if like certain things, I think are just being rushed. Like they rushed, I think they rushed RC because they just wanted to get it out. It's not perfect. It's nice, but it's.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, are they learning from that mistake? Are they because they pushed back. You know, they put what is it, the triple changer, what is it, what's the triple changer that they're doing? Fuck.
Blitzwing.
Yeah, so they pushed that back, like, because, you know, did they learn from their mistake from RC and say, you know what, we try to rush this out, try to play the game and giving them another option out there, but let's just wait, let's just do a good product, let's wait for us to know that we did it right and put it out to market so everybody's happy.
So Dust Mite sent me the Cheen comparison for this, and yeah,
he's bulky, dude. Like, Bad Boy, big Bad Cube is bulky, dude. It's bulky.
Yeah. So obviously we don't know scale, but this is to compare the aesthetic, right? So, I mean,
G1 model is terrible, man. Just the way he looks standing there, like, it's like, oh man.
He's like, oh, I'm here to fight Decepticons.
Wham, bam,
Zowie.
That's a good comparison shot.
Don't
though.
hate
But
me,
the
Dave.
Fans Toys looks the best. Like, I don't really mind the chunkiness of the Bad Cube, but I think overall aesthetic, the win, in my opinion, goes to Fans Toys right there. That looks good.
It's just that the Bad Cube gives it like a more realistic type of, this is what a tank would probably change into, because it's going to be a bulky type of robot. And the Fans Toys is like, you know what? No, we'll show legs, we'll show arms, we'll show, we'll make it look like a person, a robot. So
the turret on the Fans Toys looks more accurate to the cartoon model, and it just kind of looks like they took some creative liberties with the bot mode itself, kind of like what they did with the Sea Spray. Because, I mean, he does look chunky in the animation model, and the Fans Toys definitely doesn't look like that.
His head looks kind of small, too, compared to that one, to the G1.
I think Fanstoy's done an amazing job to capture, the spirit of this, right?
Yeah, they got the gray. The gray is like the white on the picture. Like it's, they do a good job, man. They do a really good job.
Yeah, the waist piece definitely looks more accurate with the indentation and everything.
It looks nice, but I don't want to start up an old kind of discussion. But everybody forgets about their RC. Yeah, but they forget about their Rouge, right? I just find it interesting how, like, I think you mentioned it, Brian, on ETR, that people were really emotionally driven to talk about the Stunticons they revealed, and then for the Warpath, people seem to be like, kind of in or out and excited or not really, interested one way or the other.
Yeah. So what's with the siloed vitriol here? Like, right? Is it because it's like, I mean, I know the Stunticons, like a lot of people, they're just calling them bullies, right? Because we got 2 other companies doing them. That was one argument. But the other argument was, why are you giving us something that we're already getting? And like, that's what this is. But I am not seeing that hate for when this got dropped, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I guess people were that fed up with this, or they always realized this was going to be a placeholder,
No, but the difference is that the bag cube came out already. It's been out for years.
I think it's distance.
No,
yeah,
but what I mean, Jose, is like, maybe they were why wouldn't they be upset that they're coming out with a different character as opposed to one that's already been done? That was my kind of argument I was going at.
Yeah, because it's not that they're putting out something that's already been out. When it's something like that, and you obviously have the time now and the foresight to make it better than what's already been released. So people are only going to be, at least most people, I would think, are going to be happy to upgrade to the one that quote unquote looks better, or is more accurate, But my argument or whatever, and the argument of other people is when they throw out renders of things that are actively coming out with other companies, and people, vote with their dollar and buy what they want, that's fine. But, when they know their figures aren't ready, they're throwing it out there. Like, I feel knowingly to try to hurt the other companies, to the people that are like, hey, like, I'm not gonna buy it because Fans Toys is gonna put their shit out eventually,
But to me, I mean, that's people that have to deal with their own feelings. I mean, I always think of this as a company that's also just be like, we have to promote what we're making as well. But should they wait or
promote it when it's ready? Promote it when it's ready, then, because then already these X Transbots ones and the DX9s would be out, most likely, and then hey, we got these 2.
But Jose, there's a flip side to that too. Like, because at the end of the day, if they don't show what they're doing, then people are gonna be like, oh fuck, now they're doing it. I didn't want to buy the X Transbots. I wanted to see whether Fans Toy was doing it, and now they're doing it, and now I just bought the Fans X Transbot for no apparent reason.
That's what I was gonna say too. What about the people that are like dead set Fans Toys fans, like, oh man, I didn't know you guys were gonna make this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, you got to take it from the flip side to say, they're just showing that they're doing these things because they want to make people aware that they're doing it. It might take a lot of time, but at the end of the day, at least that they're doing it. And if you want to wait and be patient because their quality is good, then that's at least
So would you rather them put a fucking picture of all the fucking ArcBots, all the ArcBots fucking just out there, fucking gray render and saying, yeah, we're doing them all.
But Dave, that's a good point. But that's not what they're doing, though, Dave. That's not what they're doing. They're not putting not every week. They're showing fucking pictures every week and saying, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing, and putting it an image out every week. They're just they're just saying, hey, we're doing these, and it sucks. It sucks that it's coming out. Those images are coming out during the time that other companies are doing it. But that's just business. That's just business.
So I hear that argument though that you just brought up. Like, look at it from the flip side, and people will be upset if Fans Toys didn't do the reveal. Like, hey, I bought these, but that would afford those people the opportunity to try something new from another company and try the X Transbots and be like, hey, this is a good figure. Like, this is nice. And maybe that'll spark them to be like, hey, I'm cool with this. And maybe I don't need the Fans Toys, or I don't need the DX.
Right.
Fuck that approach. That's bullshit. Fucking lie to me.
Especially if there's going to be a bit of a time difference between the releases, between X Transbots releasing these Thundercons now and DX9 doing the same thing, and then we're gonna get Fans Toys a year later. If people didn't know that the Fans Toys stuff was coming out, and those people are gonna hold out waiting for Fans Toys, they're robbing themselves the opportunity to check out the offerings on the market right now, because they're gonna just be like, hey, I'm gonna wait for Fans Toys. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to not knowing, because it's not ready now anyway, and then they'll spend the $40 to try out the X Transbots version and maybe be surprised that it's actually a good figure. You know?
Hey Dom, is this that New Age Bumblebee, or is this a different Bumblebee?
That's the New Age Bumblebee.
So the New Age Bumblebee is on display with the Magic Square toys. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, right?
Is this Magic Square making a Cyclonus? What the hell is this?
Yeah, that's a Cyclonus.
Well, yeah, but is it? I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this.
I think they have a Cyclonus on pre-order. I can't remember. They got a few characters on pre-order right now. I know they definitely have a Beachcomber, and they have an Ultra Magnus. Yeah,
dude, if this Ultra Magnus transforms into a car carrier and the cars don't fit on him, I'm gonna be mad.
If Bumblebee doesn't fit on him, you're out.
Right.
That was the Legend stuff, right? See, like, and the Legend stuff is like some of the stuff that we're seeing now is looking very like masterpiece-esque.
Very,
just
very
in a small scale. That looks pretty good. Look at that Ultra Magnus.
And the articulation is really good too.
Jose,
I had one other thought.
And they're cheap.
Now, I was just going to say that Jose has said this in the past, how if he knew that these things were coming out, he might have rethought having these buying these starting off with this scale. Because, I mean, I'm thinking the same way. You could fucking fit all these on 2 shelves and call it a fucking day, as opposed to the slew of boxes and space that we take up with the
your masterpiece and buy all these, and then buy Hot Toys with the difference. I'm just saying.
Gary working some Dominomics right there. Yeah. Would you be happy though? Like, honestly, like we're praising the Legends and how great they look and stuff like that. But would you really be happy with a Legends only collection, just with the simplified transformations and the simplified looks?
Go ahead, Dave.
I wouldn't, because like, I originally got into this, like, not got into the hobby, but got into it more so for the picture taking of it. I haven't done that in a very long time, but that's what I fell in love with. And I think that I wouldn't get the same out of these. These are more just like playable, like cool just to have, like, knock around, as opposed to the other ones where they're more like, oh, wow, that's a fucking masterpiece. That's something I want to look at, not only fuck around with, but I want to from time to time admire.
Yeah.
I agree. I like it. There's definitely, it's apples and oranges. Like, you can't compare, like, a Legends with a masterpiece in regards to those two particular. There's the volume, the difference between price, material, and just the play. Obviously the look of it is different, but the thing is that it's who you are as a collector, what pleases you as a collector. And if you're more mature in your age in regards to collecting and you want that masterpiece feel, that masterpiece is definitely for you. But if you're looking to, like Dave said, play around with a figure, transform, enjoy it the way you enjoyed it as a kid.
Maturity has nothing to do with it. Look, I think if I collected like full teams, or I was a completist, like Dom is with stuff, with the way that the Legends are transitioning and the way that they're looking aesthetically, and the space that they take, taking up less space, like, I could see, switching over completely to that if I were trying to go for volume. But I don't collect that way, so I would rather just have, 4 or 5 characters, that I've kind of kept as far as.
So they name their Guzzle figure Ebrius, which means drunk, intoxicated.
That's pretty good.
But Gary, like masterpiece is not for kids. Like, it's not for your average, kid that's walking, that's going to buy a Chug figure off the shelf. It's for the adult collector. It's completely for the adult collectors,
Yeah,
for that
but none of these are for
adult
kids
appetite.
because they're not. None of these are sold in stores. Like even the Legends.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, those Legends. I'm sure parents are like, if I bought that Legend and I had a kid that's 8 years old and he's playing with the Transformers off the shelf, I have no problem giving them that Legend toy and enjoying that Legend toy for what it is. You know, and
Dude, how many 8-year-olds like know what online retailers to go look at for this stuff?
They don't, but they want toys.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Gary, you're gonna see. You're gonna walk into TFCon and Chicago, and you're gonna see a lot of young boys walking around buying Transformers. Don't go there, Gary.
I think you're gonna see a lot more older boys, but
no,
you do see
going
anywhere.
You see grown men dressed as boys.
Yeah,
I'm not going anywhere.
You're gonna see kids, dude. There's kids there buying, and it like the funny time, like last year when I was at TFCon, like, you know, just a little like, you know, an 8-year-old came up to the table and he was saying all the G1 characters and he knew everything from the G1 era, and I was like, holy shit, like, you know, there are kids that are into this and they're looking back into the G1 and looking for G1 characters to play with and have.
I just want to shout out Decepticon here for MMC making a figure named after his handle.
Cool.
That's pretty awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's like being a made man almost.
Dave.
Oh, go ahead, bro.
That was
He's a friend.
Dave. Sorry. Dave. Besides MMC stuff and things like that, was there anything else that caught your eye?
No, just, you know, a few things here and there. I mean, I am interested in the Fans Toys combiners as well, but they do look a little big to me. But we saw those weeks ago, so that was nothing new to me.
But you bring a good topic up though, Dave. Like, what do you feel in regards to Stunticons? Are they same size as the Autobot cars, or are they bigger?
I mean, I always assumed that they were the same size, but
to me, like that's too big for me. I don't think the Stunticon should be the same size as Starscream.
As a fucking plane, right? No, like, it doesn't make sense. But if you're gonna get that, the outcome is going to be a combiner that's going to be the right size, solid. You're going to get a toy that looks the way it does, like how those look.
Now, I mean, I'll do like a, you know, I'll definitely do if the combine mode for Fans Toys is beautiful and it's the size of Constructor, I'll definitely combine Fans Toys, be that my combiner, and keep Experience Bots as my my individuals, and just, you know, have them as the robot forms.
You know, I mean, that's cool. I've thought about the same option, but like, who's gonna who's gonna come to your house and go, "Oh, you did the right thing. All your robots are the right fucking size," you know? And are you gonna line them up with a fucking measuring tape across your fucking wall and be like, "Look how I stuck a piece of paper under his foot to make him fucking perfect." You know, it's like. It's all up to you. It's subjective.
Yeah.
Dave, I bought the ruler yesterday. What the fuck? You mean I don't need the ruler?
So I'll just say, like, I've been sold on the Brinkalizer approach, and just the clear reminder that cars that turn into robots, like real life cars, are where my passion started and where everything's kind of come back around to. So. I'm all for it, man. Make as many Stunticons that look like Ferraris and real life Lamborghinis and, you know, Porsche 928s, and I think it's awesome. You know,
damned.
Exactly. Seriously, because I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm being honest. I've got, I'm gonna be the guy that, you know, may display some of them in alt mode and not have duplicates of the same character. Just because I like knowing they turn into robots.
So Gary, Skids isn't a bot that does it for you, right? Because of the car mode. Skids isn't a car that does
actually,
it for you.
So funny you say that. So it's not an exciting car, but it's a real life, you know, 80s vehicle. And who else is going to make that thing? So it's kind of cool.
He's just saying he can't pick up a girl in that car. Are you saying that, Gary? You can't pick up a girl in that car?
Listen, that back seat's pretty tight. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got the scooter in it. It's the scooter.
Some real quick sound bites from the chat a little bit earlier. Rogue War 71 was saying he's looking forward to the Flames Toys Tarn. Jiraiya Sama 7 says he's definitely feeling the pull to have a G1 Legend shelf, as we were discussing. Deluxe, he says he has Legends out the ass, and Sam Mead followed up saying you got Legends in the ass.
Oh,
shout out to Sam to keeping the Pinkerton approach live and well. That
And Ralph L, he said he's thinking of going Legends to scale with his smaller combiners for displays, which I think that's actually a great thing that Legends are for. Especially, with all the combiner wars stuff that we were getting from Hasbro official. I felt like with those scale of combiners that we were getting from Hasbro, the deluxes with the one Voyager, like Legends, I feel Legends class figures like lined up perfectly with those, and with the bigger like city bots like Fort Max and Trypticon and stuff like that. You got just that sense of scale with those smaller Legend scales figures. So that's cool.
Let's pose this question. This kind of what we're talking about, because I'm just curious. Those are the guys who have some, and I only have one experience with the yellow constructor, and it wasn't a very good one.
ooh.
Are the combiners really fun though to anybody? Like actually putting
Gary,
them? I feel like people stress more about
glad you asked me
assembling
that.
them.
I'm glad you asked me that, because combiners stress me the fuck out. Like honestly, they
Right.
Like,
It seems that way.
And just the fact that they keep changing the scale of them pisses me the fuck off too. I was gonna ask you guys if, like, I don't know if it's X Transbots or is it who's the other one? Unique Toys doing the Menasor.
Zeta,
No, the one that it looks like
DX9.
the cars just fucking clip onto the arms.
DX9, yeah.
DX9, right? Would I'd buy a fucking Menasor or a fucking, I'd buy a fucking combiner that just looks like it does without breaking it apart.
You buy
Like,
like,
if you sold
an
me
action figure, an action figure.
that looks
And
like
that's
it
Giant
would,
Action Master.
looks like it would, but doesn't, and it's well built. I'd rather buy that and then buy all the bots on the side to fuck with, instead of trying to
What's that Giant
rationalize it and
Prime?
buy two different brands.
What's the Giant Prime and the Megatron, Brian, that just came out? Like Steel had it. He showed it. The MAS. Is that
MAS stuff, yeah.
Like,
Mega
yeah.
Action, no, whatever.
Give me one of those that looks like a G1 Bruticus.
And you're
I'm
good.
sold. I'll buy it in a second.
Me too.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea.
That might actually happen.
Yeah, it'll happen in 5 years from now after we buy all the fucking combiners that are already out.
And Dave, it's funny because the only combiner I ever bought from third party is Hercules. I haven't bought any other combiner to date.
You don't have Warbotron. You don't.
Nope,
have...
I don't have Warbotron. I don't have. The only other combiner I bought was eventually, because I bought it later on after they reissued it like 8th time, was the Fail Rex, because I just like the aesthetics of it.
That one's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have in both colors.
Hey Dom, real quick, I just want to show you. By the power of Dust Mites, he has shown us a scale comparison of combiner bots with Starscream.
Yeah, but
and then here is Fang.
Show the full photo. Show the full photo of the cartoon.
There'll be another one where one of them is inside Starscream. Like, it
Starscream.
makes no
Right.
But what you don't see here is Starscream is standing on a boulder. You guys got to realize that he's standing on a boulder, or like the other guys are standing on a boulder. So that's the
no, it's
reason.
all perspective. He's actually not even anywhere near them.
It could be
They're standing
foreground,
there behind
background.
them.
They're all-
Yeah.
No, but I think it is true, and I think Bobby brought up that point too. That the Autobot Masterpiece cars scaling with each other, but then when you see like the cartoon and the Decepticon combiners, like that screenshot that Brink just showed us, the Decepticons always seem to be kind of like the same height. So I guess if you're going and you're going to display these on a shelf with Decepticons, then it probably would fit in, compared to kind of like what you saw in the cartoon. Because I mean, they're not going to probably put these Stunticons next to the Masterpiece cars, right, on a display.
Yeah.
So just to your eye, it's not going to be off-putting in that sense, since they're not going to be right next to each other as far as on the shelf.
It's all about people display this shit, because like my idea of the way I wanted to display my stuff was more like a battle sequence, so that fucks it up for that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a tiny ass fucking Prowl getting beat up by a huge ass fucking Swindle. It makes no sense. Like, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, shout out to Tim K. I think his masterpiece display is set up like that, Dave, like a battle. What I've seen when you post pictures of it, and it looks pretty cool. It's like Autobots on one side fighting Decepticons on the other. So
Yeah, that's dope.
That's good. Yeah,
depends
that's
how you
good.
set
It's
it up.
looking good.
Yeah.
Is that Hova or is that the?
That's
is
Hova.
That's Hova, right?
Hova's in the same shelf as an X-Transport spot. What's that about?
Look at Brian. Look at Brian reading between the lines.
From that angle, that shit does not look bad to me. Like, what did you guys think of that, Jazz? Like, does it really look terrible?
I had it on pre-order for like fucking 2 years. But
which one do you think is the best offering? The Make Toys, the Downbeat?
I don't know.
For me,
the Downbeat is cleaner. It's more like I said, I'm more cartoon type of feel. So I think it gives them more of the nice straight line, clean the lines. This one is a little bit more, realistic in regards to a realistic type of feel.
I'm not hating this Hova, but I really like my Tour World / Zeta one. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one too, and I thought that's actually look pretty decent. There's something about it that looks like off to me, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
From a masterpiece perspective, he's got gaps in his arms, which is kind of lame.
Yeah, that's the only part I would agree with you, Brian. When I had it,
but it's to your aesthetic, Brian, though, right? It's more of a realistic car type feel.
Correct. Yeah. Did everybody go? Jose, you need to go, right?
Yeah, Jose needs to go.
Yeah, I mean, I saw like a ton of stuff that I was just like, man, this looks good. The DX9, finally getting to see their Motormaster. That was a nice reveal because we actually, I think it was the first time that we got to see the shell, basically the combined form for the Menasor, right? Like the whole shell, even though the arms weren't attached. And they looked hollow because of that. Just being able to see what the actual combiner is going to look like, I was digging that. And the Motormaster looks good to me. Just like the one that they've released already, right? Montana, I think, is the one that's out. Yeah. They show the Wild Rider too. So I mean, those look good. But the standout from that company was definitely the
You're liking that trailer? You're liking that trailer though? That trailer can fit. I don't know. It feels like it can fit a lot in there.
It looks long, but just considering what the function of it is, like it's forgivable to me.
So guys, I mean, dude.
No, but I'm not.
Look at this. Look how big it is. This thing. Wow, this thing is gonna be
huge. Yeah, it's gonna be a long. But like, I'm not gonna have it in truck form.
I just want to see it in person. I want to see how big this is in person, dude. I just want to fucking see this.
But I think what they really nailed is go to the robot form, Brian. Like I think what they really nailed is like the legs and the feet on him. Just the individual, like the inch of a bot. Like I think,
yeah,
like with the windows and
the
everything.
double windows. Like he has a very unique look, like in both modes, and I think they nailed it for sure.
It cleans up very well in the back.
The feet, the shins.
It's definitely going to be a contender. It's definitely going to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously this isn't the trailer. Isn't this like so? There's a piece left off for this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be separate. I would just assume the trailer is going to make up the bot, and the Motormaster has its own little base figure, which is the cab.
And what exercises would you recommend, Gary, for him to bulk up those biceps and shoulders?
Triceps.
Bicep curls and tricep extensions.
I would say some hand cleans. You guys ever do those? Did you do those, Dom, in high school? Hand cleans or some deadlifts.
What are you thinking of? What's everybody's opinion on that combined mode? I mean, doesn't it look like what the animation model looked like?
It does, and it's not. I mean, it's not bad.
I don't think so. I think that looks pretty good.
I tell you.
How tall is that? How tall is that compared to Constructor? Is that going to be at the same size, or
maybe between like the 18 to 22 inches or something like that? I had the feeling like this was supposed to be like around 20 inches. No, like a little bit smaller than the Constructor.
Yeah,
and it looks like his forearms are gappy. Like there's a gap. Like there's a hollowness to his forearms too on the side. If you see that.
No, but that's because the cars are not attached. Like you're going to attach the vehicles.
What's the matter with you?
The cars are not attached.
I was like, I hope you weren't being serious.
Dude, don't show me. Don't show me this fucking picture.
So,
Attach the cars.
So when you were talking about scale, so if this is not photoshopped and this is like for real, Optimus Prime comes to above Constructor's knee. So, you know, perhaps if we're going from the bottom up, it looks to scale with Constructor. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's a little smaller, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, the picture from the side though, the combined picture that's directly behind the smaller bots, like that looks like that's more for the scale. So I mean, that's fine, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
so that looks like that is at that 18-inch like range.
Now,
roughly.
is for the legs, is the cars going to be attached to the front or to the back?
the
to the
back.
back.
The back, okay.
I think they already showed that like on one of the instructions for one of the car. I think for the Montana, you just showed how it just plops right back on.
I think if the fit and finish and the attachments are sturdy, you know, and it works as far as a way to do it, people will forgive anything that, you know, maybe doesn't aesthetically look exactly they may have wanted it to.
And it's funny that you mentioned the finish, Gary, because we've seen already from X-Transbots, their Wild Rider is shiny, right? It's painted, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the crack up, I mean, they put the clear coat on the white plastic or whatever to give it a sheen too. If DX9 makes this matte, dude, fuck them, dude.
You know, like these look good, and this was my standout though. This was the one I was gonna mention. The Ancest Rod. You know, I got that generation toy, you know, Gorilla, which is the robotic Optimus Primal. This fits in like with that. I'm liking the way that bull sideswipe looks. So
Now
just
the bull sideswipe is from a different company, right?
no, it's from Generation Toy. So
Okay,
this is DX9. So
Yeah.
Generation Toy looks like they're doing, you know, that line, but this is the only one DX9 has put out as far as like those B spots. And
Gotcha.
I mean, I love the way it looks, man.
This
You
is
know,
like perfect effect, doesn't it? It's like
it's very
Yeah, it
it
does a little bit.
Yeah.
Look like
for you people that are cat owners and no cats, looks like you can position the ears. That you can give them like the hissing ears or the perky ears.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It just looks good, and I'm all for
the folding down airs, yeah.
Yeah, I'm for these takes, like these new takes on classic characters. Because how many times can we just keep getting the same character, you know, wash, rinse, repeat? You know, regardless, it's an updated figure, new engineering. You know, I'm all for new ideas like this, especially when they look cool.
Jose, who's doing that bull? That the Red Alert bull.
That's Generation Toy. That's the side swipe. That's their next one that's coming out.
The side swipe. Right.
We said that, Dave, about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got a text from somebody.
And if you're feeling the space crunch, or you feel like you don't have room to expand with this crazy awesome toys, just dump your masterpiece, get Legends. Not afraid of a bunch of real estate.
That'll do it.
Yeah, I was
like what
really
you said, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's something new and different. I mean, I'm all for the nostalgia piece to a point, but I kind of feel like it's, you know, kind of nostalgia'd out at some point too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, it's great. If I don't watch the cartoon, I'll watch the cartoon. It's not that great.
Let's forget. Sorry, guys.
Forgive a lot.
Yeah, let's give some of our Beast Wars love. So put that freaking I'm definitely gonna get this thing, but it's huge. Dragon. Yeah, it is huge, dude.
But isn't this a new company? Like nobody's
they
never made anything.
Yeah, it is a new company. But I saw the real photos like in the shelf, and it's big.
See, so between this though and the Perfect Effect that they have their Dragon Megatron coming out, like which one do you think looks better? Because I felt like I know Perfect Effect stylizes, and I think I appreciate that they do that. Like I like them making the bots look more cool.
See, I got a decision to make because I missed Guerrera because I missed the first run of Guerrera, so I have it on pre-order right now. And I have their Megatron on pre-order. So whether I drop those 2 pre-orders and just go with this, that's the question that I have to ask myself, because it's like, do I really want to go with the Perfect Effects, or do I really want to go with this? And because I enjoy the sculpt and what they're doing with the sculpt and everything. And now it's just whether the size is going to be something that I can just, you know, accept.
Are you saying that you prefer what Perfect Effect was doing or what this new company here is doing?
Like, when I saw that when I saw the Guerrero, man,
That thing
I
looks
loved
amazing. Yeah,
I loved it, and it looks good. I missed out on it, and definitely happy that they're reissuing it, and I have a pre-order up. It's just that now it's like when you see another company come into the play, and they're issuing something very similar, with a little bit different feel. It's more of a sculpt figure, plus rounded edges, and more of a dragon feel taste to it. Because when you look at the perfect effect here, it's more robotic. It's more sharp edges. It's stylized.
It looks more anime to me, like in a way, more anime.
And Fans Hobby's a retool, remember, of that other thing
of the Fangry,
yeah.
So it's funny because it's like it's what is your preference? What do you like? And I think
so many options. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, God, it's cool.
And like you can see, like the more round edge, this gives me more of the Beast Wars, the Beast Wars feels, because you have the more creature feel to it, where this is more robotic. And it's going to be a decision I have to make, because I know those pre-orders are coming up soon, and whether I drop them and just wait on for this new Winged Dragon.
So you're willing to even drop the pre-order for Gorira, because there's not really another viable option for Optimus.
I can't imagine them not doing this new company not doing Optimus and giving their take if they do in a Megatron. You can't do a Megatron and not do an Optimus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. It makes sense. But I really do like what Perfect Effect did. Like, I did love that they took those liberties, because if you look at the animation model for Optimus, I mean, it's not the best looking thing. And then so to follow that to a T, I feel like would do a disservice to the character. But what Perfect Effect did, just giving it better proportions overall, like they just made that bot looks real badass, and it looks great in all modes.
And like I said, it's paint to the nines. Like, look at that, it looks really good, and I'm not taking away from it, but it's just, I don't know, I'm very I'm kind of in a toss up on which way I'm going to go, because I love to do both. I probably will, knowing me. I'm such a sucker.
Well, if it was up to us, right? Yeah.
Oh, that just looks fucking cool with Waspinator right there. That's just awesome.
Dude, that's
but like, it's just, I just feel like, it's definitely a decision that I have to make, and I'll probably not think about it and let the pre-orders fall. And it's just going to be in my stack, and I'm like, oh shit, it just happened. So
yeah. Well, I like, again, like what they're doing with the Ancest Rod. I just kind of like when they do, things a little bit different, which is why I also like the, what we got to see, a little bit more from Make Toys with their cross dimension line. We got to see the Jetfire and their Galvatron and a version like of their Rodimus coming out. I'm like, man, these things look like amazing. And they speak to me, because I know that line is all about, interesting aesthetics, but is also having a great playability to the figures with articulation and stuff like that. So I'm in for all those, the 3 reveals that they showed as far as like the cross dimension line.
Yeah.
I was like, this was one I was going to bring up too. Yeah, this thing is amazing. I love this. It's wild. It's crazy. It's fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, look at that, like, plane mode. You know what I'm saying, with the flaps down on the side on the wings. Like, I love the way that freaking look, like a hovercraft almost, like landing. And look at that Galvatron. Like, that she looks like a fucking beast, like that. It just looks great. I love the aesthetic. I like the anime look to it. And again, G1-esque, but not, simple, design.
It's not replicating it.
Yeah, exactly. They're just kind of going their own way with it. And I appreciate that. And when you handle those figures, you could feel the love that goes into them. Like, what I'm saying? They're really well-made figures. And the price point that you're getting those figures at too has been pretty amazing so far, in my opinion.
Oh, it's like I said, I picked up the 3. I missed out on the what was that black Power Master Prime that they came out with, because that's going for a freaking pretty penny now.
Oh, for real? Yeah. See, I'm glad I grabbed that, and I know the Striker Noir is kind of sold out everywhere. Like, all the pieces are kind of selling out, like, here and there. So
it's definitely I feel like it's growing a fan base, and I'm on board, and I think I'm definitely going to pick up these 3 characters as well.
Okay. Did you missed out on that one? But you got the rest of them? You got the Striker Manus?
I got the Striker Manus, the Megatron, and the Striker Noir.
Okay.
But they did the the Power Master Prime, I guess, the black and the regular Prime, and I'm going to pick up the Prime, but I really wanted the black version because I think it calls more to me in regards to the aesthetics that they have.
Yeah.
Because it looks different than what the Prime is, the regular Prime one is. So.
Yeah, and just the all black color scheme. There is something to say about that. I mean, Prime is classic, but it's the clash of the colors. You got the red and the blue, and there's just something about like just having the figure being all black and then with the hints of teal. And
I like that they're doing the Nemesis Jetfire first and giving us that taste.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
they're putting out like a black version.
I think that's what this is.
Yeah, that's the Nemesis Jetfire.
And I think I might go this one instead of getting the other one.
Yeah, because the white, I think the white, or unless they're just throwing it all up and saying, Jetfire's Skyfire is not white, he's black.
I mean, I've always been a big Jetfire fan. I mean, he transforms. I mean, I say this a lot, but he transforms into something. I mean, there's a payoff when you transform him to a fucking jet, man. Fucking, it's awesome.
Yeah,
big giant plane.
A black and red color scheme would look good too on that figure. Looks
like they're holding back out on us with his alt mode, so I'm kind of curious to see what this is going to be.
So that's probably the figure that's maybe like the furthest away, and then the reaction line, that brainstorm, it's fine, what I'm saying, but their stuff is as far as the masterpiece is hit or miss. I think the Jazz looks good, but then sometimes I feel like the other pieces they put out don't really fit.
I feel like that, like the brainstorm is warranted. Like they had to do it. It's like we need to get they needed to do that figure because that line that
they put the other the other Autobots out. So
exactly.
They need to finish up. Yeah, I agree.
It was no surprise to me when I saw that figure. I was like, okay. Thank God they're doing it.
Jose, anything else catch your eye? Like some upgrades for Volcanicus here? Anything?
Let me see that. I don't know if I wasn't paying too much attention on the upgrade stuff, but
this is just non-F. They just make extra weapons. That's all.
Yeah.
They should just come out with a bat just to fucking beat that thing to death and crash.
No, Dave. No. Show Chug some love. Show Chug some love.
No, it's not the Chug. It's that figure. It's ugly as fuck.
But the way, the stock version of that combiner looks like shit. I agree with you, but the upgrade kit that Transform Dreamwave is putting out for that Volcanicus looks fucking amazing. Then it makes that combiner look amazing. Regardless if you feel they should combine
the Dinobots never combined.
Well, they do now. It's official. There was other stuff. I mean, Maz toys, the crowd-funded stuff that they had on display, that all looks good. The Mayhem mechanics, I went all in on those Unrustables. So some of the stuff that they showed was interesting to see, like especially the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle versions.
That was pretty cool. I think certain things like that are going to be successful for them because they're tying it to another like genre.
Yeah, like the Sewer Barons. I
mean, if they're cheap enough, they're cool for me. If they're cheap enough, I'd pick them up too, just for the fun.
But what do you guys think? Like, if they issue these turtles out, should they be at a lower price point? Because if somebody's going to buy one of those, they're going to buy all four of them, so they got to be at a lower price point because you're going to pick up all four turtles. You know what I'm saying? Or they might sell it as a pack. I don't know.
I'd feel like they'd probably charge a little bit more because I'd feel like that would probably be an exclusive item, and then the regular version, whatever color that would going to be, is more widespread. So yeah. So, I mean, they seem to make these things readily available.
Cool. What's that thing?
Jose, are you balls deep on all this?
See, now I'm like I said, I liked the reveals, but I'm gonna have to see more before I decide if I'm gonna go all in. Like I'm open to getting kind of like one of each, but the principle behind these things is that it's a gang, and so it kind of makes you want to army build them. And when the figures are $100 a pop, I mean, like I said, I went all in on the bikes because I thought those designs were really, really striking. These follow-ups, they look good, but to me, not the way the bikes looked, the way the bikes grabbed me as being something like original and just the quirkiness of it. Like there's just something about those bikes that look awesome to me. And some of these designs, they look cool, but not as cool. So
she's talented.
See that? Yeah.
But Valkyries, but I mean, I love the line. I love that it's just something that's original, but still speaking to something that we love as far as transforming robots and stuff like that. Again, to me, it doesn't have to be tied to G1. It doesn't have to be tied to any other Transformers franchise that we've gotten. You know, like they could do original ideas, and to me, if the bots look cool, I'll be in. You know, just like the way I went in on those Astrobots because I just thought the bots looked cool.
I was just gonna bring those up.
Yeah,
They seem supposed to really like them.
What's up,
my dad would say that she's healthy.
She's healthy. Yeah, she's very. she's been drinking her vitamin. You know,
I'm drinking her Energon.
I'll never forget. I was watching the Super Bowl with my dad, and I think Jewel sang the national anthem. He's like, that's a healthy girl right there.
See, your dad got the same skill I do. He knows how to talk. That's what I would say around my wife. I'm like, oh, she'd float in the water if we ever got lost.
Wow.
Lost at sea. Grab onto one of those.
So, Jose, to kind of segue from something that you said, if I can find it, you had mentioned, you know, not having the actual fiction and all that other stuff, and
I know
rambling.
Where you're going.
Can I keep rambling until I find it? What the fuck is it?
What you're talking about? The Young Rustables, the new thing.
No,
this guy right here.
The natures.
You know what? I was just gonna bring that up next because I was gonna ask you guys what you thought of this because, you know, it looks like it kind of looks like a play on the Huff that they've already put out, but again, original ideas based off kind of like other characters.
I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for it.
Yeah. See, so but now to me, like, okay, I'm looking at that, and there's something about like that backpack, like, you know, kind of like the way the Huff has the cab of the truck kind of just sitting on the back. That doesn't look great to me. So I'm all for like the original idea, but I'm not sure if I'm in on this figure, like in particular.
I agree.
So you're looking to them to do a little bit more work in trying to make the aesthetic or some of the lazy transformation and fix it up, you know, make it clean.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it like that because I don't know if it's lazy or not. You know, I wouldn't say it in like those words, but to me, aesthetically, the figures have to speak to me. Like I have to, like, they have to look cool to me. Like, you know, and to me, like, I like the idea and I like the kind of direction that they're going to go and putting out, you know, original bots. But to me, that looks okay, but it's not screaming like, man, I want that.
If it had boobies, Jose, would it be okay?
Possible. very possible.
So, yeah, I am extremely excited about this. I kind of wish it was a little more refined from a masterpiece perspective. But I mean, like you said, like, yeah, this guy in particular, his design with that backpack, you know, who knows what's gonna be like. But dude, it's basically extra Transformers. I think it's cool. You know,
you could just come up with, if you have imagination, you know, come up with their own, you know, their own backstory. They could be in that universe. They're just other robots we haven't seen. You know,
well, like in the IDW world, you know, you had the Nails, you know, the characters that weren't anybody you knew. Essentially, there's shit going on Cybertron we don't know about. You know, there's motherfuckers doing shit. This could be one of them motherfuckers doing shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I dig it. I feel like it's the direction, you know, more companies should go. Like, especially if the companies are successful, or, you know, with their releases based off the G1 or whatever other series, you know, that they're putting figures out, you know, but, you know, like, if you're able to kind of do that, like what Make Toys is doing with the Cross Dimension, they're doing the safe stuff and, you know, the normal G1 masterpiece releases, but they're doing Cross Dimension also, which is like a side project.
To your point, Jose, like, I think like that, I'm with you. Like, actually, you know, I like the idea of it. I don't think I really need that toy, that figure. You know, I'm not liking it enough to probably buy it. But, you know, I know that Bad Cube kind of mentioned that they're trying to, you know, attract more buyers, and it's supposed to be, I think, some type of a lower price point as part of it. But so don't quote me. I feel like that's what was discussed, or, you know, read somewhere on Facebook.
That was one of the hints that they gave.
Yeah.
See, so I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because that will play a factor now, like in my decision. Like if you're telling me that they're gonna put out something original like this and
be
offer
$40,
and offer it for $40, then I'm in. Then I'll support.
Well, I was just gonna say the one thing the X-Transbots, first Stunticon, right? The crack up. And let's take the $40 price point away because they're trying to be first to market with the designs and all that whole drama. Their other robots are $60, and if you can get that quality of a toy for $60 and everything doesn't have to cost $100, and Bad Cube follows suit with this, I think it will certainly change where people spend their money. And to your point, Brian, that they'll have just enjoy building a collection with stuff that's not going to break the bank every single time at $200, for a dinosaur. Robot.
Like for instance, that Generation Toys Sarge, the basically the
370Z,
the Defensor guy, Streetwise. Yeah. Like I bought it and then immediately sold it only because I knew I had some QC issues. So I never even took it out of the box. But like that, dude, he scaled with MP. He was a modern car accurate design, and he transformed into a robot that didn't look like another robot. That was I might jump in on that later on, who knows.
Man, I mean, and to bring up, just like you said, just these figures don't have to cost $100. I mean, I'm much more willing and open to trying out an original product, an original character, at a $40 or even $60 price point, as opposed to like $100 price point where
say 50, say like 50, like a liter less cost.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm more than willing to go in on something like that, to check it out, especially if the quality is going to be, on par with like what XTB did with this crack up, putting it out for 40. And that's definitely like a figure that I don't see anybody batting an eye paying $80 for, I mean, it's that type of quality. If the rest of those keep up, then great. And then if Bad Cube does a figure like this, which is original, and they want to, kind of entice people and offer it at a better price point, I would definitely go in at a $50, $40, $50, even $60. I probably would be like my limit on something like this, considering that I'm not all in on the aesthetic, but I'd be willing to try it out and to hope that the line is successful so they do more things like this.
You know what? I applaud them. They're trying it. They're making it or breaking it. They're trying things. They're not doing like a fans project, just dying off. I think they're trying new things to see whether it works, and I applaud them for it.
Yeah. Let me hear you clap if you're gonna fucking applaud them. There you go.
One of the things, and Dave, this is for you too. Sorry, audio listeners.
I'll just sound it out for them. It's a big fuck you, Dave.
One of the other things I want to mention here too is you can tell by the size that this will obviously be able to fit Prime's trailer on there as well. Speaking of Fans Project, they did announce a couple things. I mean, we know they're kind of dead, and the things that they did announce might not be getting people, too excited, but they are going to finish out their Function X line, it seems, which is kind of cool.
8-face.
Yeah. With 8-bits,
yeah.
It looks good. It looks good. It looks good. But like, with what I'm seeing here is like, when is this coming out? Is it like, it's definitely not this year. So
you still have those, Dom? The original ones?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
All of them.
I'll applaud the people that are still actually like loyal to the line and holding out. I've
been in the beginning. Cool. Like I've been in the beginning, and Fans Projects just has a place in my heart, dude. It's just I would love to just give them up, but like that recolor of the what is it, the Grimlock that they're doing. Yeah. I know it's a repaint, but it just looks cool to me. And
I don't have a pic of it, but they're doing a roller too.
So you're one of the 6 people that are gonna buy that thing?
Yeah.
Yes, Dave. I'm probably going to be one of the
I can't believe I know somebody that's going to buy that. Wow.
But yeah, they're making.
And you call him friend. Oh my god.
They're making a roller as well, which is part of their core bot line.
Core bots.
Wait,
the core bot line.
There's something that we haven't seen, that I haven't seen on any of the slides that you showed, but MMC's doing a roller too.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that too.
All right, cool.
So Fans Project's making one, and I kind of want it just because I want that yellow core bot. But
and it's the
MMC.
completionist in me too, Dave. It's like
Yeah.
it's like when you're in that core bot line, you want all those little core bots.
When-
As stupid it is,
When France Project
dumb.
goes out of business, I'm gonna make sure I buy the company out for pennies on a dollar, and come out with a bunch of bullshit so you can completionist and finish it.
Yeah, and I'll just be
Make
your
all
only,
my money off of people like you.
and I'll be your only revenue stream. Good luck.
I
Just
found
to,
it. I found it, Dave.
you got it.
Yeah, this is the MMC roller.
But
Oh,
you can't,
Oh
like,
yeah, because it's based off
Okay,
their Tarn.
okay,
mold.
Right.
Yeah.
okay, haters. Fans Toys repaint. Fan Project repaint. But MMC does the same shit, dude.
Yeah, they do, but it
MMCCs
looks
do the
better.
same shit. Oh,
I mean, I'm not.
God.
I mean, listen, I'm not shitting on them. I mean that the Thunder Clash. I mean, I think the colors on that look amazing. I feel like they did enough to make it look different than the Tarn. And then, I mean, the feet look similar on this roller like that they're doing, but the colors and the slight remolding, I think it does make a difference. You know,
Because I'm just saying, like, there is people that are kind of getting disturbed that they're not doing what they've done in the past and make unique molds for these particular characters that they're compromising and repainting and just doing a little bit surface job on, getting these other characters out and reusing molds and just coloring them and all.
How many fucking Calidus do we have? Fucking
I think-
eight now. How many?
Yeah.
Is it?
I think it's smart on a business perspective, but like at the end of the day, it does upset some customers.
Yeah. For certain characters that I feel like you haven't seen too much of, like Roller is not a character that I could recall seeing many times in the comics. So, if they're able to kind of get away with some slight tweaks of the mold for a character like that, that's not pivotal, I guess, in my eyes, then fine. A character like Cyclonus or should not be sharing the same mold as a character like Lockdown or something like that. So that
and you might be touching a good point there, Jose. Like they might want to utilize that on like not so popular characters, so or exclusives to push out those repaints and try to get a little bit more money out of them.
And Brian, can you bring up that alt mode pick again? See, because like now to me, like I'm looking at that and I'm like, man, so in the alt mode that doesn't, it looks different enough from the Tarn and even from the Thunder Clash to me. It's not hateful. Like it's not hateful that they're using the same base mold.
And with me being a Prime fan, when I first saw Roller in the comic, I was like, "What? Roller's a guy? He's a dude. That's really awesome." That was sweet. So I'm excited to get this.
Yeah,
I can't believe I'm actually going to buy this character twice, though, because I really want that Fans Project yellow core bot. I got all the other colors. I want that one, too.
Well, again, it is the same character, but it's not the same toy, so you could have the fun with each, just their differences and stuff like that.
I do have Roadbuster twice, so.
True.
Ooh, NJCC's coming up. Shout out to Roadbuster. Going on the table.
What, the Fans Project Roadbuster?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. That's a hard one to let go of, man.
Yeah. I was glad to see that, it looks like Hoodlum is going to be coming out, the Fans Toys Hot Rod, because, with the Takar version released, that was something we didn't think we were going to see. Of course, the rest of the Stunticons from X-Transbots, I'm in on that line. From KFC, I thought it was interesting that they're going to be putting out the Dreadwind and Darkwing, especially because of the combiner aspect of the jet modes for those two. Like, I think that might be interesting for people that are fans of the original Power Masters. And you know what? I know it's probably not going to be the most popular, but I was kind of digging that Toy World is kind of doing, upgrades for the Combiner War stuff. Like, for the people that are still into Chugs, it's kind of like throwing them a bone, and those look really good, compared to what we got from the Hasbro versions. I feel like the combiners, I'm not a big fan of the feet. I feel like the feet should look, be a little bit bigger. But as far as like the core body of the combiner, I think they definitely look better than what we got with the Hasbro.
Yeah, you can put the Perfect Effect feet on there.
Yeah,
call it a day.
Exactly. So you just mix and match the kits. To me, it's just another option, and I think that's really cool for the people that are still into that and collect those lines. Like I said, it's like throwing them a bone. The MMC stuff that was discussed, of course, just to kind of wrap up my picks. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting anything in particular, but I think it was nice to see them doing the Deathsaurus and you know some of the other characters, the Guzzle, the Diatlas, and of course their version of the Combaticons. Like just seeing the stop motion and the video that they had showing how they kind of combine and seeing how it all works and it's all incorporated within the bot modes themselves. Like I think that's an amazing feat. So I'm interested to see how that turns out in the end.
Yeah, those MMC Combaticons. I know they were getting some hate in the beginning, but these things are really looking good.
I think some of the current offerings disappointed a lot of people, like the unique toys ones, and just kind of the. So I think having another option is appealing to a lot of people.
It's so tempting. It's so tempting just to pull back and wait because there's just so much going on with these.
But what's the fun in that?
I know, and it's like
right. I'm just saying, like it's true. It's like
I already bid on the X-Transbots, breakdown. It was a good value, so I bought it. I thought there was nothing that's going to hurt me doing that, but like it's just I don't know. I've been in this game so long. I've been hurt so many times in regards to jumping in first. And
write a fucking song. Why don't
exactly?
My heart.
It's the wrong podcast, Dom.
Dom's Swift over here.
He's tearing up your heart when you're with them.
Tearing up my heart
there you go. When you're apart, you
and
feel
that mold has been broken.
Man, but yeah.
What's that? What's this thing?
This is Moz Toys Pipes, I think.
Moz Toys. Yeah, see, so Pipes and they're not a character that I'm really like, hey, I need a Pipes. That's
cool,
that's an easy pass. Cool. But if we're
talking
getting
about, Brian, talking about knee pads.
Yeah. The box art's gonna be killer, I heard.
No more no new human companions though. We're shown for anyone.
Yeah. Brian, you were doing like a lot of the screen share. Were you able to give your opinions on some of the stuff?
Well, basically, that cross dimension Skyfire and that Huffer, the Bad Cube, natures or whatever. I just wanted to make sure we covered those because those to me were very interesting. And of course, all the Legends talk. I'm all in on someday. I'll just do all Legends and dump everything else.
One day.
It's kind of hard though. You got Iron Factory who's killing it with stylized design, and now you've got like 3 companies doing G1 design. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard if you want to hurry up and complete it, or
and they sell out. Like there's some if you want to go back and grab a couple old ones, they're hard to get.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing though, that this TFCon did for me. It did kind of like it kind of sparked my interest in robots a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to a lot of things now that I probably wasn't before.
As a tear runs down at Hot Toys. Don't Dave, don't leave me.
I think from January to fucking the end of June is like everything else, and then fucking from July on, it's Transformers. That's it.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, Dave, I'll agree with you. I've mentioned on past shows how I kind of like the new trend that we've kind of been seeing, where you kind of see pictures of a product coming out, and then it kind of comes out within the next couple of months, as opposed to seeing something like a year ahead. But like events like this, where you could kind of get that sneak peek and you get like just a literal bomb of information at once. Like there's something to be said for that, and it does cause excitement. Like when you could, what's coming down in the pipeline, even if you don't necessarily know actually when it's coming out. So shows like this are a little bit different. If it was like the constant barrage like it was before, that you just kind of drop something and it's not coming out for a year, and not so happy. But with an event like this, I think it's warranted and it's cool. It makes it feel more special, I guess, in a way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, all right, good stuff. I guess we could start wrapping this up, and of course, we always continue unbroadcasted. So we're going to be putting the link out in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. Look out for that. Everybody is welcome. So before we start heading out, let's just run it down the line, get some where you at, and most likely we'll still be discussing TFCon in the chat. So hop in, guys, when you get a chance. Brian Brink, I'll start with you.
Oh yeah, as always, find me at Brian Brink in the Facebook groups, at Brinkalizer on Instagram, which I need to get off my ass and post at least my 27th picture or something like that. And here on Tuesday nights, Bring the Mold. Monday, ETR, and Saturday, Plastic Fanatics is back.
We're back.
Baby.
Yeah, that was fun.
So yeah, tune in
was
there to the last episode if you want even more talk about TFCon toys and reveals.
Yep. All right, Big Dom.
You can find me on the Facebook groups at Dominic Grasso, and here Tuesday nights with Dave and the rest of the fellas. But
That's right, bitch. With Dave, you gotta make sure you say with Dave, right? By the way, listeners, you're not going to see Dom for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here for 2 weeks.
Early happy birthday today.
Oh,
right.
thank you.
Right.
Dom's birthday's this weekend.
I'm the big. I'm big 4-0, guys. Big 4-0. Midlife crisis.
Oh, really? That's. I thought you were a lot older than that.
No, I'm.
That's a milestone,
Way you look
man.
and shit.
Yep, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so enjoy vacation, Dom. Stay safe,
We'll
we'll see you when you get back, man.
And I'll make sure I'll bring a polar bear or a grizzly bear for you, Dave.
Oh, thank you. A small one, right? A little one.
No, the fucking real thing that bites your ass.
All right, Energon Addict.
Energon Addict on Instagram, David Colon on the Facebook groups, here on Tuesdays. And thanks for listening, watching, whatever. Same shit.
Both. All right, G Money.
Yeah, Gary Allen in the Facebook groups. I'm here on Tuesdays. I did want to mention that we missed JD tonight. He was not feeling so great, so hopefully he'll be back with us talking things up next week on Tuesday.
Yeah, JD, feel better. You need
it.
The king of all meat bags is not feeling well, unfortunately. Yes. All right, feel better. As for myself, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Xbox Live, and the PlayStation Network, all at Harrick and BX, here with these fine gentlemen every single Tuesday night. And I have a podcast called Verbally Challenged with Harrick and BX that you can find on all audio platforms. Please check that out. Last episode had the Rockfather himself, Dust Mites, and Frogman78. Great discussion on Ant-Man and the Wasp and old school 80s stuff that we were reminiscing on. It was really, really good. Please, before we head out, remember to check us out. We have a website, realmofcollectors.com. We're on Facebook as a group, Realm of Collectors, and we're on Instagram at Realm of Collectors. Breaking the Mold is a proud part of the Cool Table Network, so please pull up a chair. It's a network hub for like-minded podcasts, including Enter the Realm, Plastic Fanatics, Shattercast Uncut, Toy Detox, Nerd Rage Radio, Beer and Bolts is 40K, Stasis Lock, 8 weeks, building up to it, and Fresh Communication. You can find the Cool Table on Facebook along with links to all these other great podcasts. That's going to be the show for tonight, guys. Thank you for everybody watching and listening. We are the ROC. We're not going anywhere, so get to know us, okay? ROC Hangout continues next. Look out for the link in the Facebook groups, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out. Later.
Oh, peace.
Have a great week, everyone.
Fuck you, Dave.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom.